I've always thought of Detroit as a hardworking town. I've always thought of Detroiters as, as people that have a lot of creativity. If you look at our history, we have this creative DNA that has been a constant thread throughout everything that we've done. You can go back to the automotive segment. You can go back to gospel music. You can go back to even techno music, which was birthed right here in Michigan. And when you begin to look at the creativity, regardless of what the industry is, regardless of what the business vertical is, that creativity is the one constant thread that really kind of just goes throughout everything. And so when I thought about that, I was like, how can I be a part of this new economy that's happening here in the city of Detroit, and how can we make sure that that new economy is more inclusive and really takes advantage of 100% of the intellectual capital that's right here. When you look at the metropolitan Detroit area, it has probably one of the most diverse areas anywhere in the country. But now, how do we tap into that so that we can really attack the economic problems that we have? And I truly believe that is going to take a mastermind in terms of all the people and the different perspectives and angles and experiences that they have. What I noticed about Detroit is that the barriers of entry were lower here than in any other market. I also looked at this as being home, and I really felt comfortable trying to make an impact in the place that I grew up in, right? There's all these different narratives, and there are a lot of outsiders that are attempting to tell the Detroit story. But no one can tell a Detroit story the way a Detroiter can. And so what I thought about is, how can I be a part of the solution versus just talking about the problem? We could talk all day about what's wrong, what's broke, what needs, and also what needs to be fixed. But I think getting on the other side of trying to create solutions and thinking about it from a creative angle, to me, adds a lot more value than just saying that this is broken. Brand Camp was birthed back in 2008. It was just an idea on a sheet of paper. And I began to look at, this space of branding because I began to see what was happening from an economic standpoint. I began to look at what was happening online. And I could see that, that for people who wanted to be prepared for the next generation of jobs, that they were going to have to understand and be able to demystify this, They were going to need to be able to demystify the social web. And so it was really birthed at really helping people to understand how to position themselves online. Over time, what I began to see is that now that begins to impact jobs in terms of whether you run your own business, you work for someone else. You're going to need to understand how to be able to utilize these tools, because they're naturally being integrated into jobs, and we're moving towards a knowledge-based economy. And so now we're looking at really getting people to think like startups, getting people to understand how to embrace technology so that they can, again, be able to utilize this to begin to create opportunity in what I would like to call a reputation economy, meaning that people are getting job opportunities, creating businesses and organizations, and a lot of it is going in terms of them positioning themselves as a thought leader. If you look at it, maybe about 20 years ago, you would see someone like a Bill Gates, who was in senior level management, who was the actual CEO. It would take them years, and they would then position themselves as this potential thought leader. A person today can work hard, can become a subject matter expert in a particular area, and via the internet, they can create some interesting business opportunities and relationships strategically. Our theme is build, innovate, and grow Detroit. It's going to take a community of people. We recognize that some people are builders, some people are the kind of people that can take an idea and then be able to grow that idea. It's going to take building communities, it's going to take growing ideas, growing businesses. And so what we wanted to do is to get people all the way throughout this entire value chain, and then began to connect them together and find out how we can do this for the greater good of the metropolitan Detroit area, and really also for Detroit proper. Because again, if you look at it, there are a lot of outsiders that are coming into Detroit. And when I say outside, I'm talking about people outside of the state, because they look at this as being the hot new area, right? This new tech entrepreneurial space. And we need to have some intellectual capital that comes from the outside, but we need to have people that are going to keep their roots here in the city of Detroit. We really appreciate the support that Mayor Bing is providing for entrepreneurs. Obviously, he was an entrepreneur himself. And so again, we really appreciate, we can see the difference between previous administrations and the administration that's in there now. Do we have a perfect situation? No. Obviously there's still some growth opportunities, but we do appreciate the support, and we love the direction that the city is going in. So we just want to be a part of this new renaissance and this new growth that's actually taking place in the city of Detroit.